Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Love and Life, the channel where we share knowledge for holistic self-development through great books. Have you ever experienced a situation like this? The harder you try to do something, the more the result isn't what you expected. You stay up late working overtime, but the project still fails. You dedicate all your heart to caring for your children, yet they seem to listen less and less. For many years, you've been busy, striving, sacrificing many things, putting in all your effort, but in the end, you still don't have the life you want. Conversely, some things you do lightly succeed. Why is that? Don't people always say, the harder you work, the luckier you get? Greg McKeown, in the book I'm introducing today, Effortless, Make What Matters Most Easier, reveals that effort is not glorious. Over-effort is counterproductive. A string stretched too tight will break. Effort is the same. If you strain too hard on a task, you place a huge burden on your own perception. When you do something while overthinking, worrying about gains and losses, fearing failure, this psychological burden will make your actions stiff, forced, and unnatural, and the result will be even worse. Therefore, learning to loosen up scientifically and gently can actually help you live and work more effectively. If you feel life is too busy, stressful, and you can't escape, if you want to discover the secret of ease and optimize your life, if you want to both work and enjoy life, then today's book can help you solve this difficulty. And now, please listen to a sharing from Love and Life titled, What It Means to Live with Enjoyment, through the book Effortless. Make What Matters Most Easier. The author, Greg McKeown, is known as the Stephen Covey of the 21st century. Stephen Covey was the famous educator, speaker, and businessman, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which I have introduced before. Greg McKeown is a young global leader, teaching at Stanford University, and a proponent of effortless leadership, aiming to help people escape the trivial and live with enjoyment, lightly and more effectively. A suffocating life might be due to excessive effort. There's a story in the book about a man named McKinney who worked very hard at a finance company. He outperformed all his colleagues, working over 80 hours a week. Thanks to this, he was quickly promoted, and because of that, he worked even harder, often working overtime until the early morning. McKinney's catchphrase was, "Hard work can solve any problem." But unexpectedly, after the financial crisis, he was laid off. McKinney was extremely resentful. What did I do wrong? Why was I fired along with the people who didn't work hard? Thinking of all the hard years, all the effort he put in, only to end up with this result, his heart was full of resentment. But in real life, what can we do? In fact, there are too many people like McKinney. Every day, there are so many things to do, busy from morning till night, with no time for themselves. We are taught from a young age that the harder you work, the luckier you get, and to get that luck, you must strive and sacrifice a lot. If you want to do something big, start a business, or succeed, you must first prepare to suffer, ready to accept being beaten down by life. And yet, if you over-effort, it will be counterproductive. Over-effort is when you place too much importance, have huge ambitions, and fixate on achieving something at all costs, which leads to stress. The more stressful a person's life is, the more likely they are to fall into a state of, the harder I try, the more I fail. At this point, the author shows us another path: to frequently pause and ask yourself, is there an easier way? A book about the theory of relativity, made easy for everyone to understand, shows us that Einstein's discovery, which we think of as a great breakthrough, was actually, for Einstein, just a simple calculation based on his knowledge of the conservation of momentum to think about the relationship between time, space, and relativity. In reality, many important things can still be done easily. Only when you build this basic mindset, ready to believe in lightness and simplicity, can you choose a less strenuous, more effective path for yourself. Entering the zone, the effortless state. In the NBA, there's a player named Stephen Curry. He is very accurate with his three-point shots. Before every game, he does one thing. He just shoots the ball around the court randomly. The purpose of this is just to help himself get into the best state. This strategy is called getting into his zone. This zone is the area that helps you live and work in a light state while achieving peak efficiency. I have compiled some methods from the book to help you enter your own zone as follows. First, work and enjoy at the same time. Since we were young, we were often taught, work hard now, play later. Children saved their candy for tomorrow. Adults often finish all important work before allowing themselves to have fun, rest, or travel. But when the time for enjoyment comes, the initial anticipation is gone. This makes many people believe that work is suffering and only rest and play are fun. In reality, it's not like that. You can absolutely work and enjoy pleasure at the same time. According to the author, the core point of effortlessness is that work and enjoyment are not opposites. If you can't find joy in your work, or don't feel that you can be happy during the work process, it's very hard to work lightly. Therefore, we need to enter work with a recreational spirit and create joy for ourselves. One of the effective ways to make work interesting is to create a sense of ritual through small, meaningful actions that help you connect more deeply with the work. For example, Beethoven counted exactly 60 coffee beans every morning to brew his coffee as a way to start an inspiring workday. Or in ancient Rome, people designed rituals for every daily activity. For instance, when a 21-year-old man shaved for the first time, the event was called dedicating the beard to the god. A daily act like shaving was also considered a milestone accompanied by a meaningful ritual. But look at today. Our pace of life is faster, the pressure is greater, and we gradually stop caring about these traditional rituals. In fact, we are also losing the joy of living and lack an interesting, light connection with our own work. We always look at work with heavy, serious, and rigid eyes. So, let joy enter your work. This requires creativity from each person. You can try to see how to make work more fun. For example, before I start reading and creating content for a new book of the week, I will arrange a vase of flowers on my desk. The gentle scent of the flowers brings a relaxing feeling, helping to start the new week full of inspiration. Another way to make what you do more interesting is to apply a habit prescription. The idea here is to use a familiar action as a trigger to spark a new action. For example, if you want to make reading more enjoyable, create a trigger like, Every evening when I sit in my chair, turn on the lamp, and light a scented candle, I will pick up a book to read. When the first action that helps you feel pleased and comfortable has taken place, it will act as a trigger, helping the second action follow naturally, becoming a seamless chain. Once this habit is formed, you will realize that things are not as difficult as you thought. Wu Wei. Resting effectively. Wu Wei, non-doing, means doing nothing. This isn't advising us to stop working, but that when we work, we need to actively create interruptions to completely relax and rest. A famous American baseball coach had a very simple principle. He advised athletes not to overtrain before a competition. Just show up on time and play their best. Training or preparing too much can sometimes lead to physical exhaustion. Actively relaxing, letting yourself be in non-doing, is an effective way to restore energy. Reserve the morning for your most important work, as this is when human energy is most abundant. Divide your work time into 3 phases, each no longer than 90 minutes. This is based on the brain's limited concentration ability. After 90 minutes, we lose efficiency and need to get up and relax. Next, take short breaks between work phases. Stand up, walk around, do some stretches, drink a glass of water, eat some fruit, chat with someone, or simply take deep breaths to refresh your mind. In addition, sleep is also very important. It is an effective period for you to enter a state of non-doing after a day of work. However, lack of sleep is a common problem today. According to statistics, compared to 55 years ago, we sleep an average of 2 hours less per day. The cause is the habit of nighttime entertainment and the prevalence of electronic devices. To get better quality sleep, you should put your phone out of reach before bed. Take a warm bath to relax your body and let it cool down slowly, which helps you fall asleep. Or, like me, I have a habit of soaking my feet in hot water with coarse salt in the evening, which makes me sleep more deeply. If you don't get enough sleep at night, try to take a nap, meditate, or relax for about 20 to 30 minutes to restore your energy. Higher gratitude and fire complaining. Next, the third way to live and work in a light state. Higher gratitude and fire complaining. The author of The Innovator's Dilemma, Harvard professor Christensen, once offered a very interesting concept. He said that customers hire your product to perform a certain job. For example, a person who buys a cup of coffee from you is actually hiring that coffee because it can help quench their thirst. They hire this thing because it is useful to them. Therefore, Christensen argued that when you want to sell a product, you must think, why do others want to hire this product? What benefits can it bring them? Similarly, when you want what's best for yourself, do negative emotions like resentment, sorrow, and dissatisfaction, if you hire them, do they do anything useful for you? In reality, when you place too much importance on reputation, recognition, and must strive at all costs to achieve it, you make the work very heavy and lose the joy. This is because your heart contains too many burdens: anger, resentment, self-pity, and anxiety. When you hire these negative emotions, perhaps sometimes releasing them externally helps you defend yourself, calm your mood, or even when you complain about something to others, it might help you too feel closer. But in the long run, this is not beneficial at all. It's like hiring an employee who only knows how to flatter you, bringing temporary emotional value, but not doing the real work. The more you complain, the more tiring the work will become. You will be even less likely to get what you want and will feel even more lacking. This is a downward spiral. The author pointed out that life has two nested circles. The inner circle represents what you have, while the outer circle is what you lack. If you only focus on looking at the outer circle, you will ignore the inner circle, the good things you already possess. When the mind is obsessed with lack, you will fall into a victim mentality. My boss makes things difficult for me. My colleagues don't help. My family doesn't understand me. My friends aren't sincere. Just like that, the inner circle will get smaller and smaller until you feel you have nothing left. Therefore, you need to fire this complaining. And what is the best solution here? That is gratitude. Living with gratitude will help you easily focus on the inner circle. When you focus on what you have, the outer circle, the feeling of lack, will gradually disappear. Automatically, the things you have will increase. Gratitude will help you escape the downward spiral and switch to an upward spiral. If you keep complaining and thinking, "Oh, this job is so hard. My life is so terrible," then your life will get worse and worse, because people have a tendency to self-verify their own beliefs. When you believe everything is tiring, everything will gradually become worse. But if you see that things are getting better, that you are progressing, you will continuously move upward. That is also the reason I created the Practice Gratitude group, to encourage everyone to write a gratitude journal together every day. This is an extremely effective method. When gratitude becomes a part of your life, you will realize that nothing is too difficult. The road ahead will be lighter and more effortless, and it can also help you grow stronger and happier. High focus. Doing less more effectively. A specialized term in meteorology is microburst. It describes a strong downdraft of wind lasting 10 to 15 minutes, with speeds up to 97 kilometers per hour, strong enough to topple large trees. The author says that when we work, we should also apply this principle. Spend 10 to 15 minutes in high concentration to create a powerful wave. For example, if you need to write an important report, start with the simplest thing. Sit down, prepare paper and pen. Then, outline the structure in a short time. At first, you need to concentrate fully to complete this step. After that, it will create a wave that can help you enter a flow state. You will be swept into the flow of work. Now, it will be both more interesting and easier. The author provides an exercise to build concentration. Create your own space. 2 minutes. Find a quiet place, turn off your phone, ensure you won't be disturbed. Spend a little time cleaning your workspace so your mind can become clearer. Relax your body. 2 minutes. Sit up straight. Breathe naturally. Roll your shoulders. Turn your head and feel your body relaxing. Relax your mind. Accept the appearance of all thoughts, but don't cling to them. Let them come and go. Release resentment. 2 minutes. Imagine you are cutting the cords that bind you to the people who have hurt you, and tell them, "I forgive you." Feel gratitude. 2 minutes. Recall a moment in your life when you were truly grateful. Try to feel that joy again in every breath. Concentration will help you improve the quality of your life, making everything easier. Learn to focus because it is the most precious gift you can give yourself. Stop putting pressure on yourself and others. Many years ago, I was someone who loved to create pressure, setting ironclad discipline for myself. Once I had a goal, it had to be achieved, and I had many goals. But gradually, as I read more books, went deeper inside, and connected more with my soul, I came to prefer lightness. And when I exist lightly, without too many expectations, greed, or anger, without overthinking, without pursuing perfectionism for myself and others, everything in my life flows more smoothly, goes with the flow, and turns out better. Whether it's my own work, managing a team, or raising children, you will realize that when you can do things lightly, it's a sign that your level of awareness has been raised. Please don't think that you have to force yourself, that you must suffer, that you must 100% follow the rules you set for yourself to be glorious or successful. In reality, lightness is the new glory. Life can never be perfect. We will definitely have to face birth, aging, sickness, and death. However, in the process of facing that pain, we can still maintain a light attitude. When pained by illness, we can still be cheerful and maintain an attitude of gratitude. When work is overwhelming, we can still let ourselves relax and make our souls more interesting. Life doesn't have to be difficult or complicated. Put yourself into a state of lightness. However, this is not about letting yourself go. The ancients used to say, slow and steady. This is about finding your own rhythm within reasonable limits. If the goal is too high, it will make you discouraged. If the goal is too low, it will make us bored. Building a reasonable goal means not taking on too much at once, and also not using all your strength just to complete one leg of the journey. Maintain a stable pace for yourself, a reserve of energy, so you can complete the long journey of this life. My dear friend, if life is already tiring enough, please stop making it hard for yourself. Allow yourself to slow down. Allow yourself to rest. Life doesn't need to be so strenuous. You are only strenuous when you want to achieve too much. But the busier you are, the more you must learn to relax. This is the true way to live with enjoyment. I hope that all of us can live freely and lightly in every moment. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please share it with those who need it. Don't forget to give me a like, press the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to catch the newest videos every week. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next videos.